The member for Suba South is a little bit, to me, he wants to understand where you're coming from with the proposal. Why did you think that they should have those other annexures? To what end? Because it's a report, an interim report, and you've shown us the page about taking it back to the people, and it was envisioned that they will get this task force to work on it again.
If you're seated where I'm seated and looking up from the inside, the only reason you would do that is to avoid what Moses Kuria is saying.
Okay.
Moses Kuria is saying that there is a hidden report, there is a hidden card. If you read the report the way it is structured on page 105, what Moses Kuria is talking about is not here. And therefore, the only way to remove that doubt is the actual document, because the actual document would have those clauses that would speak to the position taken by the BBI team and the position taken by the political parties on the issue. And therefore, what we will be debating is the clause. The clause as structured would be the debate as to whether that person seeks mandate or that person is proposed by the president, approved by parliament as proposed in page 105 of the report. That is the confusion I'm talking about. The confusion is caused by the fact that the rumor has it, and you know, a lie takes a short time to go around.
Yes.
And I had this actually from Kipchumba Murkomen when we were burying the father of Senator Kabaka, that there is a document, there is something. Somebody left another report somewhere. Why? Because the clause as written is very, very straightforward, the way it is. Okay. But the political protagonists are thinking, this can't be it. There must be something else that you're not telling us.
Why are they so keen to...
Can I explain to you why they are talking like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is because the moment BPI started its work, this task force, these guys assumed that a position will be created as Prime Minister and it belongs to Raila Odinga.
Exactly.
These guys never imagined that Raila can go for any other thing apart from Prime Minister. I don't know for what reason. Raila Odinga was Prime Minister from 2008 to 2013. And I don't think he's thinking of becoming a Prime Minister again. So when you hear Moses Kuria talks that ODM wants, they are still in that mindset. They are still having that conservative mindset, so to speak, that ODM is only interested in the position of Prime Minister. I will tell them probably we are not. What we are interested in is a government structure that will be inclusive, that Kenyans will appreciate and identify with. What they call executive prime minister, I don't know what that means. But what I think many Kenyans are saying, especially after the release of this report, is that, yes, let's have a prime minister, but let's not have a so weak prime minister who is going to be appointed by the president. And this is Kenyans speaking. It's not even a party position. There are so many people who have spoken who are not even members of ODM. But if finally it will be agreed that that prime minister will be someone who is picked among members of parliament or national assembly, so to speak, by the president, so be it. We have no issues with it, so long as Kenyans have validated.
Can I explain something?
Yes.
You see, in the proposal, like for example, dismissal of the Prime Minister under page 106, it reads the Prime Minister may be dismissed by the President or through a vote of no confidence in the National Assembly that wins an absolute majority. Now, in the case of whether it's an executive Prime Minister or non-executive Prime Minister, as a question, it would mean you would have the post of Prime Minister as executive as one question, and the post of non-executive as another question, so that Kenyans can make a determination.
What they want.
What they want.
Senator, I hope you understand what you're talking about is the tail end.
What do you mean?
To make that, Kenyans will make a decision whether it's not. That's tail end.
That is what I'm saying.
Yes, that's tail end. Let's talk about
the
current.
report,
yes.
as Mbadi is saying, Kenyans have identified a weakness in the system, and they have said, let's have a prime minister. As to what form of a prime minister we'll have, and the powers that prime minister would have, as to whether you'll be dismissed or not, is still a proposal.
Okay.
It has not been drafted to a clause where we can either remove a comma, or add a power, or add dismissal, or put another clause.
But do you believe they have a point that there could be hidden cards from where you sit?
I don't believe.
You don't believe there are any hidden cards?
Let me tell you why.
Yes, I'm coming to you, Moses.
Let me tell you why I think so. I think that if the chairperson, particularly, and I can vouch for Yusuf Haji, if he was a sort of chairman who would be pushed like the way that the manner is suggested, this report would have been much different. This report would have been so drastic that you would be having things flying all over the place. But you can see that there's an element of moderation in the terms of how the proposals have been crafted for purposes of providing an avenue for Moses Kuria here, and this is a very intelligent man, to look at this and say, why don't you remove 2 and put 3? Why don't you remove 4 and put a 6?
Okay. Moses, tell me, do you think Kenyans even have an opinion on this document?
No, not as yet. They don't have not even seen it.
Not as yet.
It is a privileged document right now.
You believe there's a privileged document? It's a privileged
document for the elite like me and Mbadi and Mutula Kilonzo Jr. My people in the village do not have an idea whether this is Githeri or Mudokoi. They don't have an idea what this document is. And that is a reality. But before I get there, I want to say that John Mbadi is saying that there is no hidden agenda or we. But it's common sense that, you know, John Mbadi is no longer in power in ODM. You know, Junet Mohammed and that clique there of Gladys Wanga. So I really have confidence in John Mbadi. I really want to wish that he gets back to the mainstream of ODM so that this wonderful, you know,
have you thrown it out?
No. I'm just stating there as a preliminary, you know, something that needs to be brought into perspective. He is the chairman of the party, but he's reigning, but he's not ruling. But you know, that's a different issue altogether. You've seen Junet Mohammed increasingly take the position of John Mbadi in all this discourse.
What, by being an MC? Come on.
No, just by being an MC, but we know what's happening there. So John Mbadi means well, and he means it when he says there's no other document. Unfortunately, it's not private to some of those things. He need to have some coffee session with Junet Mohammed. Now, moving now swiftly. This issue of Prime Minister weak or strong or this or that is neither here nor there. I think for me it's a question of principles. That the person, first of all, who is the chief executive of this country needs to be someone who enjoys universal suffrage. Yeah?
Which is here.
Which is there.
Is here.
Which is, that's why I'm very much okay with your page 105.
Yes.
Second thing is that we cannot go back as a principle to that issue simply because of inclusivity of antagonistic centers of power. It is not feasible, and we have seen other countries in Africa get into turmoil simply because they have got this king
but
and
Moses,
that king.
I think that happened because it was not well founded in the law. When the last time
that's
we
why
had
I'm
two
happy with
centers
this.
of
This is
power.
a very careful document.
Yes.
It's a very careful document because, first of all, do you know why I really support this document? First of all, why did we create a position of Prime Minister in that document, in my own estimation? It is not because of just dispersing power. It's also in terms of having efficient government. You know, somebody to assist to have an efficient government. Today, we have got a president who lives in State House. Yeah? A head of public service who largely lives in State House. So when it comes to the day-to-day mechanics of running a government, and government includes relation with parliament, it's missing. So why I was happy with this draft is because the Prime Minister, as envisaged in our page 105 of this document, is someone who actually he links the missing links, both from legislature and from executive, and thereby achieving an efficient government. It's not just a question of disbursing power or donating power or giving some people some high feeling of I am ruling. No. But as long as we have got chief executive of this country, elected through universal suffrage by everybody, and not creating two centers of power, and also achieving efficient government, I am for this document.